Welcome to that 80s show. This is the show, Dory, for people who choose life, who choose to jitterbug, who choose to put a boom boom into their room.
Into their heart?
Well, depends. Sometimes you put a boom boom in your room, boom boom in the heart. I got caught up in 80s song lyrics about boom booms.
Yes.
Thought, welcome to that 80s show. This is a show for people to make good choices. You are listening to an award-winning podcast, right? You've made a good choice. Today, when making good choices in the 80s, we saw the photos. We've seen some of your photos, what you guys were wearing in the 80s. That hairstyle was never a good idea, Dory. Admonish people.
No, but everyone was doing it. Everyone had a mullet. Why couldn't I have a mullet?
That is a ironclad argument, and I'm not here to argue it.
Do you know that mullets have made a serious comeback?
I've seen pictures of people in Australia. They seem to love a mullet out in Australia.
Dude, I was at Pride on the weekend and there were mullets everywhere.
Mullet, what was the mullet to mustache ratio?
Oh, no, 50-50. Easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty good ratio. Mullets, mustaches, celebration, anniversary this week. Do you know, Dory, we've been doing this show in this format for 4 years. 3 years, I lie, 3 years.
3 years?
3 years. I got excited. 3 years we've been doing this show in this format. Thank you everyone for coming along the journey with us. I just realized that I spent money on Facebook ads for the show. I didn't even know I did that. I just... which makes sense.
Well,
Which makes sense. Yeah, I got a few extra likes on our Facebook page, that 80 Show SA Facebook page. So the money must have been well spent. I don't remember doing it. When you're posting show content from your mobile phone, just be very careful where your fat fingers go, or you will be spending money on Facebook ads. But hey, got us a few extra followers, that 80 Show SA. Go do that one for free now, because I had to buy some people. So go do some, they call it organic. Yeah. Organic. People love the organic clicks. Now, what we're growing organically is something called One to Grow On, because last week, we stumbled into it, Dory. We stumbled.
Yes, thanks to our friend, the celeb savant, Barrett. He sent us a clip of the Hoff doing this kiddie TV show.
Yeah, a PSA,
and
right?
Then we discovered that every time it was a different celeb presenting it.
So, One to Grow On, right, is a show. It wasn't a show. It ran on Saturday mornings.
It was like a little PSA thing that would probably go between shows.
Correct. And that's exactly how it was structured.
Yes.
Public service announcement. But of course, what they did is they got all the hottest TV shows of the day, right? So we find the David Hasselhoff one. We go, the Hoff, he's always doing weird things, typical. And then we start digging a little deeper. So last week you did say that One to Grow On has something to do with blowing out birthday candles. You found that?
Yes, there was some tradition about having an extra candle on the cake, and that's called One to Grow On. First time I'd heard of it.
You know what? But I was thinking about it. I think our equivalent is nog a piep. I think it's nog a piep, isn't it?
That is our equivalent.
That is. I think it's nog a piep. All right, so we find this, and we start going through the list of people that are part of this public service announcement. Now, all the videos we're going to put up on that 80 Show SA Facebook page, you're going to find them there. We're going to play some of our favorite clips, right, of our favorite people. Now, we've tried our best with the audio. It is state of the 80s audio production. So listening to this, you're going to be transported back into the time of watching TV in the 80s, because everything sounded like this. So, of course, we had David Hasselhoff, right? I want to start off, to choose, we only got 5 that we chose.
Okay, but which one is your favorite of the 5? Because I have a favorite.
I'm going to save it to last. I think
I think that our favorites are going to be the same.
Okay. Now, what you need to imagine each of these scenarios, we'll probably set them up. There's always two kids, right? They're in like a natural kind of setting. And now these kids have a dilemma. And then our favorite 80s star comes to help them solve the dilemma. So the first one I'm going to play you is Michael J. Fox teaching kids about the hazards of playing with matches. Now, excuse the quality on this. It does sound like Airwolf is flying overhead, but you are able to hear everything.
I don't know. Come on, lighting matches can be fun.
What's so hot about playing with matches? Every year, thousands of people are hurt or are left homeless by the careless use of fire. Fire is a tool. We cook with it. It keeps us warm. It gives us light. But it can be very dangerous. It is not a toy to be played with. Because if you use fire improperly, it can cause a lot of trouble. It can even cost you your life.
You'll burn me up, Harry. What's the point of playing with fire when it could burn both of us? Or burn something that we don't want to burn, like my books here. Gee, I never really thought of that. Would you want to do something real fun? Yeah. Let's go see the creature that ate Ralph. Now there's a hot idea. Come on.
And that's one to grow on.
Now, Michael J. Fox, when he turns to the camera there. Now, the first thing is they're super young. This is pre-Back to the Future Michael J. Fox. Right? He turns, he's so serious. Oh, he's so serious to these kids. I love the fire puns. I do love.
But you love a pun.
Oh.
He is so serious and he looks so good. If I had seen that when I was teenage me, OMG is all I'm going to say.
You would have been like, Michael J. Fox, but what about the fire in my pants? I mean, what are we doing about that?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because he's like, and
what does he say? He says something like, "That's not a hot idea." I'm like, "But you're a hot person."
Yeah. I don't know. He like turns like to the camera, like full on Days of Our Lives style, just like
with a sultry look on his face.
Because you must know they're in a studio, right? And they're watching this like on a screen. So it's like there's a screen, it goes to this little played scenario, and then it comes back to them. So he's in a studio and now talking one-on-one to you. Now, the next one I'm going to play to you, I can't remember which order of the siblings I put it in. I think I put it Justine Bateman first. I'm going to stand corrected, right? So Justine Bateman, her of Jason Bateman's sharing womb fame.
No, they're not twins. Oh, okay. Well, I see what you mean.
They shared a womb.
They didn't share it at the same time.
You don't change wombs. Yeah. So she now pipes up again, two kids in a scenario. In this case, it's two girls, right? And the one is showing the other one a record cover of a like made up musician or band or something. We've all had this conversation.
Ooh, have you heard Sid Haircut's newest record? It is so great. I heard it. It doesn't do much for me. Oh, come on. Sid Haircut's the best. He's my favorite. He's okay, I guess, but he's not as cool as Johnny Sincere. Oh, what do you mean? Sid Haircut's the best, and you're nuts. I can't stand you. You're such a nerd.
Hey, wait a minute. Calling someone a nerd is one thing. A difference of opinion is another. The fact that someone doesn't agree with you doesn't make them crazy. It doesn't even make them wrong. It just means they think differently than you do about something. In a world as big as ours, there's plenty of room for other ways of seeing things. And that's kind of nice.
Hey, wait a minute. What are we fighting over? I don't know. You can like your Sid haircut. I can like my Johnny Sincere. We're friends, aren't we? No matter what.
And that's one to grow on.
Well, if you don't like that, you're a nerd.
In the days before nerds were a good thing, let's just, remember.
Yeah, because...
It wasn't good to be a nerd.
Exactly. You didn't want to be a nerd. Now you're like, hey, nerds are awesome. Like, this is the thing. But that was the aim. Kids, we learn our lessons. So that is Justine Bateman. And of course, Dory.
Can I just say how annoying the children are in all these things?
Very obnoxious. Very much so.
So annoying.
Now listen, they find themselves in all sorts of scenarios, right? I encourage the children, to play with matches. Go pick up a sharp stick and run around with it. There's some traffic. Just see if you can. They're sort of kids. There's one that I'm not going to play, but it's Perry King. And cousin Louie and I, not having spoken about anything related to Riptide in years, spoke about Riptide, and Perry King pops up. And in one of the scenarios, these kids are watching sport, and then their team wins, and the one kid takes the other kid to the fridge, goes, well, this is how my dad celebrates, and he comes up. Don't imitate everything you see. If your dad has a beer after the game, so what? That doesn't mean you have to.
Oh, that's funny. Because we drank so much as kids in the 80s, so that is hilarious.
I was constantly tanked in the 80s, so he really gets into it.
On a spree.
Right? So then the one that got you very excited, of course, Jason Bateman. he gets involved. He's always going to be involved, right? So this one is a little bit difficult to hear, but I'm going to set the scenario. It's obviously supposed to be a kid who gets on a school bus, but he's 95 years old. He does not, even by 80 standards of what teenagers were supposed to look like, this man looks like Jason Bateman's dad. Like, that's how old he is. Okay. So he gets onto a bus with a big boombox, and he's playing terrible music. And the message is to respect people around you. Enjoying music is one thing.
Not to disturb them with your loud music.
Right. Driving people around you crazy is another one. Okay. So this is J-Bay. But we spoke last week about Jason Bateman, and of course he had a huge career in the 80s. But he was firstly on Law House on the Prairie, then I think he was on Valerie or the Harper, Valerie? What was the show he was on? The sitcom.
I think it was Valerie.
I think it was Valerie.
Yes.
This is before he becomes really famous. This is that stage, right? This is that stage where he's still killing girls in his school with kisses. Go back to last week's episode, if you don't know what we're talking about, this is exactly where he is. But this is him telling you not to be a dickhead when you're playing music on the bus.
Next. Will you please turn that down, son?
Say what? Go, slow, y'all.
Young man, will you please turn that thing down?
I'm chilling.
Noise. Well, there's a difference between enjoying music and driving people around you crazy. There's a time and a place for blasting your music, and this isn't one of them. See, other people have a right to their peace and quiet. Not everyone cares to hear your favorite music when you do. And blasting in public can also be downright illegal. So turn it way down. You can have your music, and people around you can have their peace and quiet, too.
Years, rappers work so hard to get rap in the name and all you rappers a job, but now you see head you boys got me upset.
And that's one to grow on.
What happens in that last little bit is another guy gets on the bus. And they're now
Duel of the Ghetto Blasters.
But then they decide to blast off, right? Making people eat their music. That's what he says. People don't want to eat your music. His voice is barely broken there, Dory. That's how
I have to say, I quite enjoyed those tunes, though.
It's like a composite. It's like if you had to go into ChatGPT now, one that does music, and go,
make 80s music.
That's it, right? To go, well, throw in some Public Enemy, throw in some New Kids on the Block, throw in some video game sounds. This is a song in the 80s. Playing music loudly, Dory, is even illegal in some parts. That's what he tells us, Jason Bateman.
I did not know that. I did not.
Canada.
I imagine in certain places, yes.
Yeah, Canada.
Canada.
Yeah, geez. So why don't you just turn it down? Don't force people to eat your music. A very young Jason Bateman.
My favorite in that clip is the first guy when the old man says to him, "Please turn that down, son," and he gets this look on his face as if to go, "Oh yeah, watch me," and he turns it up.
He's like, "Eat my shorts, old man." Like that's. You cannot understand
the rebel
how 80s these things are, right? They're so 80s. Okay.
Amazing.
Now here's where I get excited because Dory's had her fun. She's had Michael J. Fox. She's had Jason Bateman.
Oh, no. You still haven't got to my favorite. We definitely have the same favorite.
Okay. So, of course, amongst the many others, Betty White was on this. I said...
I'll go watch that one.
I mean, Betty White was on this. Perry King was on this, I mentioned. We said David Hasselhoff was on these. I mean, this was like premier cast. We had people from so many sitcoms, so many different sitcoms on these. But of course, the A-Team get involved. I mean, kid, right? Who is not going to listen to the A-Team, right? It's like maybe what they did is they're going, you know what, like, we've been putting these things out, but fucking kids are still playing with matches. They're still like calling each other nerds. They're still playing their music.
Still playing their ghetto blaster on top volume on the bus.
They're not taking this shit seriously. We need the A-Team. Like, a child is going to burn his ghetto blast on the bus. I mean, we cannot have that. When all else fails, when you got no one else to turn to, you can rely on the A-Team. So they bring in Dwight Schultz, who of course is Murdoch. Mad Dog Murdoch.
Who was my favorite, by the way.
Oh, we all love. Oh man,
he was my favorite.
He had a cap. He flew a helicopter. He had a leather jacket. He had it all happening. I loved him. Not my favorite. Here's him. I mean, he was on 5 different ones. 5. They're like, these kids are messing around. They put him on 5. This is one of them. Dwight Schultz from A-Team.
Hey, Adam, you smell something? No, I'm sure I smell something funny. Don't you? Hey, wait, I smell it. Something's burning. Fire! Fire! Help! Fire!
Fire is frightening and dangerous, but if a fire does break out, don't panic. Just hit the deck as fast as you can, crawl to the nearest door, and get out of the house. Don't try to be a hero and put the fire out yourself. And once you're outside, you call the fire department. So you learn their number and be prepared to give them your name and address. But stay cool. Remember, being calm can be the difference between getting hurt and getting out unharmed.
What do we do? Get down real low. We'll fall apart. Fall. Hey! Ah! Mrs. Murphy! Call the fire department!
And that's one to grow on.
Now, the scenario in that particular one is obviously 2 kids alone at home. This is, I'm telling you, this is...
sound the opposite of calm, by the way.
Oh,
the
no.
opposite.
Totally. I can't tell properly because the copies aren't that great. All on YouTube. We're going to put them in that 80 Show SA Facebook page. Follow organically. I spend some money. I need to make it up. I think that the one kid is Gary Coleman. I can't be sure, but I'm pretty sure it's Gary Coleman. Okay. Right?
I know. I actually have been looking at the kids and going, familiar?
Yeah.
Could be someone. Maybe.
In our research, no famous kids pop up. None of those kids become famous, right? So it's not like you're going to find like a 5-year-old Drake in there somewhere. No, it's just the host. Just the. But now you see what I like there, right? Because, like I say, they were not listening to Michael J. Fox. Alex Keating, we don't give a shit. They're not listening to the Batemans. We need the big guns. And they're covering the same topics because they go, okay, listen here. Murdoch is practical. He goes, listen, kids are going to fuck around. They're going to play with matches. When they play with matches and shit goes wrong, this is how you deal with it. Because I'm the A-Team. Nothing's perfect. Everything goes wrong, you know? So he's very practical.
Yep.
Other things he deals with is like, boy, it can be tough when your parents think differently about your friends than you do. But there is a way to solve the problem of choosing between dropping the friend and disobeying your parent. Well, we've all been there, right?
Yes.
Another one, helping you afraid of the dark.
Neither of those seem like good options, though. You either like say you drop your friend or you disobey your parents. Is there no like better solution? Yeah.
Well, what does he say? Find out what is it that your folks don't like about your friends that at the same time will help assure your parents you're not crazy enough to let somebody else rope you into trouble. I don't know what the scenario was, but that sounds like good advice from Murdoch.
Well, being the 80s probably was that the friend was gay and we don't want you hanging out with the gay kid.
Well,
just saying.
They would never have tackled that. I can tell you that right right now.
Probably not.
There's another one about a kid being a little piggy. He's taking more food than his share, you know?
Oh.
Yeah, so that's the other one. Don't be a glutton. And then the other one, I can't really make it out. Something about an aeroplane. I don't quite get it. But anyway. So, of course, if you got one member of the A-team, you got to bring in another member of the A-team. Again, someone else that came in more than once helping the young children of Canada or America. Cannot make it out. Okay.
Yes.
They had him 3 times. 3 times on.
Okay.
Like I say, you're not listening to Michael J. Fox. Batemans, shared a womb, shut up. Murdoch, okay, I kind of respect you, but I'm not watching the A-team just because of you. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I like that you're there.
True.
You're not the reason I'm watching. So now they turn to Mr. T. Okay. To go, kids, want to grow on nog 'n piep. We got to raise the kids right. Okay. So in this scenario, there were 2 kids and they're messing around with dumbbells, barbells, with weights.
Yes.
They're trying to lift weights that are obviously too heavy for them. And Mr. T intervenes.
You gotta be kidding with those baby barbell men. Well, I don't know about lifting my dad's weights. They're kind of heavy. Maybe for you, but not for the big guys like Mr. T and me.
Hey, hold it a second. That kid thinks he can look like Mr. T overnight. It took me years of slow, steady training before I became the specimen that you see today. You got to take one step at a time. You got to start small and build up. Then you move on to the next size. And when you're really prepared, then you can move on to the big time. Well, see, there are some things even T ain't ready for yet. Nothing comes easy. So if you want to get bigger, start smaller.
Do you have an extra one of those small barbells?
And that's one to grow on.
That's good advice from Mr. T.
Pity the fool.
I pity the fool.
I pity the fool who tries to do weights that are too heavy.
Don't be a chump. Suck a fool. Now, we could spend the rest of the show just doing bad Mr. T impressions. But the message has been landed. The message of all of those hit. I was like, Mr. T's right. Don't be a fool.
And they even add a weight that is too heavy for Mr. T to show you that even he is not perfect.
You got to see that because he's like B.A. Baracus, Clubber Lang. This man cannot even pick it up. He cannot even pick it up. Right? So it's all happening. One to grow on. There's another one where Mr. T says someone's acting like a chump. Someone's acting like a chump. Who says, just because you bought the ball, that you get to make the call. Even Mr. T doesn't call all the shots. When you're part of a team, and I know something about teams, you got to work together. Like whoever wrote these, I hope he got an Emmy. Like, honestly, this is just great.
That is very funny. And I mean, the way they bring Mr. T in the scenario with the kids as well, where it's like, me and Mr. T. It's like,
That is one to grow on, colloquially called nog 'n piep. And you got to do yourself a favor. Get onto our Facebook page. I found a channel that is all of them because they're a little bit spread out all over the internet. I'm going to post the link to the channel that is just lesson after lesson after lesson.
That makes our lives easier.
Oh, good. Yeah. You know, and maybe you got a child in your life that's just acting the fool, like just won't listen. Because guys, matches, you're playing the matches, you're playing your boombox too loud on the bus. It's all nonsense. It's all nonsense until the A-team's going to help you out.
I think I would have loved those shows as a kid. I'm sad we didn't get them here.
What was in those clips as well that I took out is the format carried on the same. So it seemed to have been a filler between various shows, right? But of course, because it's Saturday morning, it is filled with ads for cereals, for kids cereal. Lucky Charms, Smurf cereal, like bowls of sugar before it cuts in. So you got a captive audience because kids are like, oh shit, I need that Smurf cereal right now. Hold on. It's the guy from Family Ties. So great programming.
And ironically, if you hadn't been feeding the kids so much sugar, they might have been better behaved and might not have needed all this advice.
Right? Drinking your beers. Nonsense. So one of the people on One to Grow On was Betty White, right? Put a clip up.
Yeah.
So there was a thing that used to happen. I can't remember the last time it happened with a sitcom that we know. Like, think about it. Spin-offs, right? So you had a very successful sitcom, gets cancelled or does its run, and people decide, okay, I'm going to do a follow-on. Like, I can't remember when last we had a spin-off.
I mean, the only one I can think of is Joey, but maybe that's because Friends is in the news at the moment.
So I was going to say good spin-off, but that's it right there. They're never really that good. They're never. Like,
No.
Frasier was a spin-off of Cheers. That one worked out well.
Yes.
That was a good one.
Excellent. It was better than Cheers.
Yeah, that was a good one. Have you seen any of the new Frasiers?
I haven't. I know they exist. I haven't.
I'm not hearing good things. So,
Yeah, without John Maloney, I'm sorry. Like, I just don't know.
they did a spin-off of, would you have called Young Sheldon a spin-off of Big Bang Theory? It was, right? Prequel. We're all prequels now. That's what we're about.
Oh, yeah. You see, I didn't watch either of those. I mean, I watched a couple of episodes of Big Bang Theory, and I'm aware of a show called Young Sheldon. Never watched it, though.
Don't watch it. So spin-offs they just kind of went, okay, we're not going to do those anymore, right? Because imagine like back in the 80s, Modern Family would have got 5 spin-offs. It would have been like the daughter goes to college. It would have been the one about the crazy aunt goes back to Mexico, or Colombia. They would have done a whole bunch of stuff, right? But in the 80s, they'd always tried spin-offs. And I'm going to talk to you about 2 spin-offs that spun out of control, Dory. That's what I'm going to call this section. So, of course, they're not 80 shows. They're in the 90s, but they spun off, right? Things like that. Oh, like what was the other one? That 80 show was a spin-off of that 70 show, right? That 80 show, the bad one.
Right.
The one no one cares about.
The one that is on YouTube that I have yet to finish watching.
Don't do it. The one that we've actually...
It's terrible. It's terrible.
We've actually starting to own the keywords. When people search that 80 show, we're starting to pop up. They're big. Big
good. Thank goodness, because that was terrible.
We'll eradicate it. If that's all we ever do is just eradicate, push it below the fold. Again, industry words, organic, below the fold.
We have succeeded.
That's what we're doing.
Then.
So let's talk about this spin-off of a very, very beloved sitcom, Betty White's Golden Girls. Right, so Golden Girls runs its time. We thought it's going to end with the Golden Girl dying. No one dies in the Golden Girls. We thought it's going to, they're just going to keep going. And they do a spin-off. Do you know what I'm going to talk about, Dory? Have you ever heard of this?
No, I have no idea.
Okay. So there is a Golden Girls spin-off that came out in the 90s, kind of blink and you miss it, called Golden Palace, right?
Never heard of it.
Okay. Let me tell you about it. So what happens is the Golden Girls minus B. Arthur, right? She is not in it. There's probably issues, contractual. She doesn't follow through on the show. So the story goes that the Golden Girls get a offer to buy this hotel that is like, it's just going to secure your future. So in the Golden Girls case, like the next 3 years. The whole premise of it.
Oh, that's terrible.
The whole premise is so stupid because why would... I mean, evidently those ladies had money. Okay, yes, they all shared a house. But I mean, you're not staying in a beachfront Florida condominium if you don't have some money somewhere. They were fine. They were cool.
I mean, where did Dorothy get all those caftans? Come on.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? She's getting them from somewhere. The local cafeteria. That's where she's getting them. I tried to do a cafeteria thing there and it didn't work. Cafeteria, I don't know. Anyway, or maybe I'll delete that part. Who knows? But anyway, so what happens is that now they get offered this chance, investment opportunity of your lifetime to own this hotel. Fantastic, gloried hotel from the 30s. They buy it. They invest all their money in and it's a dud. They're kind of like, oh no, we've lost our life savings. It's all gone. And now we have to work at this hotel to restore it to its glory. We have to get our hands dirty, Sophia's in the kitchen. Like they're now working.
Oh my God. So it's all of them.
It's all of them.
It's not like a spin-off of one of the characters. It's all of them.
Blanche, Rose, and Sophia, right? Rue McClanahan, Betty White, Estelle Getty. They buy this hotel. So now they need staff. They need staff. The porter, concierge of the hotel, is a very, very young Don Cheadle.
Okay.
Right? He's the hotel manager. He's running it from the old owners, and so they keep him. And the chef is one Cheech Marin.
Oh, no way.
From Cheech and Chong. So he's the chef,
How
right?
have I never seen this?
Okay.
I mean, okay, it obviously wasn't on TV here.
It was on TV, yeah, because I did watch it, yeah.
No.
Right? It was on TV.
No.
Yeah. It was. It was. So
I've never seen this.
there are 24 episodes of it, right? Okay.
What?
Even so much that B. Arthur pops up in 2 of the episodes. So they obviously like maybe they got over their differences, and she shows up in a 2-episode arc.
Yeah.
So I want to read you. Now this is a workplace comedy, okay? It's the Golden Girls in a hotel. Shenanigans. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun, okay?
Right.
The hotel goes through, sometimes it's very popular and very busy, to other times there's no money. It's like all over the place. Like it's like other shit. It's either fully booked or no one's there. Just whatever fits the theme of that week. So some of the episodes are episode 19, A New Leash on Life, when Betty White's character steals a greyhound whose owner threatens to put him to sleep if he loses his next race. Shenanigans. Okay.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah. Senior Stinky learns absolutely nothing about life. Episode 16. Blanche is determined to change her ways with men until she meets a handsome real estate agent played by Ricardo Montalban. Senior Stinky learns absolutely nothing about life. Episode called Runaways. When Sophia and Oliver borrow a guest car to search for adventure, they find themselves under arrest. Oh. An episode called Just a Gigolo. Do I need to read that?
Okay.
Do I need to tell you what that one's about? It involves
Probably not.
Involves Blanche. Involves Blanche.
Funny that. I have a question. Was this show a success? Because that's a lot of episodes.
So obviously 1 season's worth. No, it wasn't a success. Didn't work. People confused. They didn't like that the Golden Girls were broken up. They didn't get it. It was bad. It was just bad. It was just like...
And having to work. That sounds crazy.
People are just like,
bad plan.
Why don't you just keep on doing the Golden Girls? Like, what are we talking about here? Why didn't you just carry on? What was the point of this? So
you could have written a story for Dorothy to have moved away somewhere.
Yeah.
If there was an issue.
Like every now and again she phones them. You see her like shots from behind, put like a grey wig on top of a ladder.
Put someone in a caftan.
Exactly. Wrap a caftan around the ladder. You can do it. But literally a show no one wanted. Came out in 1991, 92. The Golden Girl era was probably over. So I think people are like, you know what?
Yeah.
Fine. We're watching Melrose Place now. That's what we're watching now. We don't care about this. Okay. But here comes another one. And you did say Friends have been in the news this week. Of course, Matthew Perry passing away. And my next one does involve someone from Friends in a spin-off of Married with Children. Right?
Huh?
There were actually 3 spin-offs. Married with Children, Al Bundy. If you don't know it, forget about it. You're not going to get it. You should know. If you're a kid in the 80s, you're anyone in the 80s, you know what Married with Children's about, right? Probably one of the most realistic depictions of family and married life shown on TV in the 80s. Because 80s was all like saccharine, everyone was lovely, the kids were achievers. That's bullshit. That's not real life. Yeah.
Absolutely the most realistic to this day.
Lovely jobs.
Modern Family could have been the spin-off of Married with Children.
Exactly.
Al Bundy.
Tony remarries.
Divorces. What was her name?
Peg.
Pig.
I'm pretty sure.
And marries a hot South American woman.
It happens. Didn't they do an episode where they brought back the Married with Children cast? I'm pretty sure, or at least Peg was in there. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know, but
they did something like that.
But I think in the show, his ex-wife was actually Shelley Long, going back to Cheers.
Yes,
actually.
Quite right. Oh,
yes.
It's a shared universe. What are we talking about? Married with Children shares universe with Cheers, Dory. So here is, I'm going to talk to you. So firstly, they did 3 spin-offs. So one was called Enemies, okay, which kind of just did not go anywhere. It was an idea where basically they were a little bit deeper into the 90s now, and they saw the popularity of Friends, and they went, what if we take Bud, who is the son, and send him to New York and do a riff on Friends called Enemies, right? So,
oh God, that's so bad. Okay.
4 young people living in the same apartment who often don't get along. So basically Big Brother. Okay, so that's
right.
Enemies went nowhere, stupid idea. The other one was called Radio Free Trumaine. Okay, where again Bud goes to university, he's a student, and meets a whole bunch of friends, and they start working on a college radio station, right? And his love interest is played by Kerry Russell, Felicity.
Huh.
Okay.
Yes, Felicity.
This one they only did as a pilot, one-off pilot, no one picked up, rubbish, forget about it. But the first one that they did had a little bit more legs, lasted at least half a season, I think 13 episodes.
Enemies?
No. Sorry, 6 episodes. 6 episodes. This next one that actually got made called Top of the Heap, right? So these 2 characters, I don't actually remember the one being in Married with Children, but granted, I have not watched it in a very long time. Do you know an actor called Joe Bologna? He was huge. He's on so much. Yes, right. He was on a lot of stuff. He's on a lot of stuff. Very funny guy, cool guy. He was in Married with Children as the father of a character played by Matt LeBlanc, future Friends star Matt LeBlanc, very young Matt LeBlanc.
Okay.
Right?
Weird.
I did not realize Matt LeBlanc was in Married with Children. He was in one episode.
Me neither.
Right? Playing this like very smart, alecky, Italian-American kind of guy, that stereotype. So he pops up in one episode of Married with Children. People kind of liked him. They knew, the producers were like, listen, this guy's going to be a star. We have to be the guys that stick with him, right? We're not going to let a star walk out here. We're going to give him his own show. So they saw he had something, Matt LeBlanc. So they give him the spin-off show of Married with Children where, everyone who stayed around them was poor. And Matt LeBlanc and his dad, the characters, decide, we're tired of being poor. We're going to con our way and scam our way into Chicago high society and pretend like we're these really rich guys and start getting invited to parties and shenanigans and just show off that we're really rich, right? And just blag our way through it. So this was the premise of it. I got clips of it. Going to put them, that 80 Show SA Facebook page. So what they did for that is, because there was a link, I think even the daughter, Kelly Bundy, dated Matt LeBlanc's character. So each of the 6 episodes, one of the family members pops up in an episode of Top of the Heap, just to kind of go, hey, that's continuity. You guys like that. You're going to like this.
Yes.
This, Matt LeBlanc kid, he's kind of good looking. Just keep it going. Okay. So
it's a tenuous link, though. It really is. That being said, Bud was not going to be the spin-off guy. Sorry.
No, definitely not.
Just the weak link.
Definitely not. So the show goes for 6 episodes, kind of gets, again, people go, yeah, but we love the episode with Al Bundy, where's he? We love the episode when they win. Where are they now? Like, what's the point of this? Okay.
Exactly.
And it got cancelled after 6 episodes. And then, of course, Matt LeBlanc, whatever happened to him? Never heard of him again. Of course, he's also guilty of then doing a Friends spin-off called Joey, which kind of like, it's not Friends, dude. Like, where the others?
No, it was terrible. It was unwatchable.
Where's everyone else?
Yeah.
Where's everyone else? So that's spin-off story. I mean, did you think there were such things? I know Golden Palace
I mean, I know.
was shown here. I don't think that Top of the Heap was ever shown here. One of the episodes was one of the episodes was like so to get people over is that they sacrificed one of the episodes of Married with Children to put in the pilot of Top of the Heap.
Yes, that's what they do to drag people across. Yes,
that one probably
Crossover
would have showed
episodes.
here. That's it. Crossover. That's it. So that one probably would have showed here. But that's it. And you can see.
I didn't watch every episode of Married with Children. I watched many, but definitely not all of them.
So instead of movie recommendations this week, we decided to talk about spin-offs from the 80s. And it's just not a good idea to spin off. So Dori, if this show, for whatever reason, does not work out, you do not go do another show. An 80, don't do it. No spin-offs, just...
I mean, technically, Celeb Savant is a spin-off of this show because he started as Chart Savant on this show.
So
that has been a huge success.
That's it. He bucks the trend. He bucks the trend. He's basically Frasier. Which is he's Frasier.
He is.
You know? And he knows everyone's name.
Yeah.
So that's perfect. And I'm usually drunk. So we've solved the whole thing.
It all comes together in the end.
We've solved the whole thing. John Stamos news. Love him. He's in the news. So many John Stamos stories lately. If you missed the show last week, go back and listen to it because it's really good. It's really, really good. There's a story in there that you have to hear to believe. John Stamos got his memoirs out. If you would have told me, okay, tells all his stories. Did he ever do a spin-off? Was there ever a spin-off of Full House? Jesse?
Don't know.
Full
House is a sequel, I suppose.
It's a sequel. Was it an extension of Full House where they focused on him and his wife, Lori Loughlin, her of scamming college entry fame, and the kids? Or was that just a continuation of like later seasons of Full House?
I'll be honest with you, I didn't watch Full House enough to answer that question. I did used to watch it in my youth, and then I stopped.
There was definitely more of a focus on them, but maybe not a spin-off. Maybe just, let's go. Got cute kids. They're a good-looking couple. Let's keep going. So anyway, he's got his book out. If you would have told me, foreword done by Jamie Lee Curtis. He tells a great story about a 80s sitcom star bonking his girlfriend. They want a break, she claims. But he's back. John Stamos was a randy little boy in the 80s, Dory. Randy boy.
Oh dear. What now?
John Stamos addresses 80s fling with Demi Moore in his new memoir. Okay.
Okay.
So things I forgot and remembered recently is that they were in General Hospital together. I didn't watch General Hospital. Apparently they were in it.
Yeah, I had no idea.
He hit it off with his General Hospital co-star who he described as a firecracker with a gravelly voice and a big laugh, and was infinitely more sophisticated and worldly despite only being a year apart in age. We're only getting snippets, but I'm getting the impression that John Stamos was very naive. Like he just keeps getting himself caught up in situations with women. I'd watch that sitcom. Okay.
Exactly. Much better.
So he recalls the story. They were at a party celebrating an Oscar nomination for her role in Everything Everywhere All at Once. Jamie Lee Curtis threw a party. Big friends. Got to get the book. Got to get the relationship between these two. John Stamos, Jamie Lee Curtis. Why are they such big friends? Why?
Yeah.
Right? So they're at a party. Jamie Lee Curtis, as you do, Oscar nomination. Demi Moore's there. John Stamos is there. And a producer comes up to them and say, hey, listen, I've been wanting to know this for ages. Did you two ever F *** K? What?
Got it.
Right? So just
in those exact words?
Just straight up. So very bluntly asks. So we both look at each other wondering what the other will say. Demi pauses to think about it. She says, I don't know if we slept together. I think we fooled around though. He continued, I just smile. Then ask if she remembers back in the day when we all went to see Rick Springfield at the Universal Amphitheater.
Wow.
A more 80s scenario has never been painted.
Never, honestly.
Oh, boy. John Stamos, Demi Moore going to watch a Rick Springfield concert. I mean, that's what dreams are made of. That's what the 80s are made of.
Can I just say, if you sleep with John Stamos and don't remember, what is wrong with you?
You're Demi Moore. I don't think anything's wrong with you. Just think about it. I'm not casting aspersions on Demi Moore, but she was Brat Pack. She's, you know what I mean? Think of who she's had access to. And I'm not saying that in a crude way. I'm just saying
yes,
they were very close. They got very excitable. You then married, you married Bruce Willis. You married that Ashton Kutcher child. You were around Rob Lowe all the time. You're just around them all. So
yeah, I suppose. Okay,
and
fair enough.
And John Stamos didn't sound like the most, kind of like sexually savvy guy. So he's not doing anything. Even if he is, she's kind of like, is this how normal people do it? By now, Rob Lowe would have like had a chainsaw. Like, what the fuck's going on here? Charlie Sheen would have had 2 horses in here. Where is this how we do it? So I think I answered the question. I think I make the point. Okay.
In the most detailed way that I did not need. Yes, you did.
But it makes a point, right? It calculates. If you know, talking about Google Brat Pack, you'll figure out very quickly. Young Charlie Sheen. That's all you need to know. She spent time with him. She's definitely forgetting about John Stamos, even if they did sleep together. He then tells a story about General Hospital. He was trying to get out of it. He just didn't like his character. He wanted to move on. And the executive producer said to him, you know, if you leave, dear, you'll never work in this town again.
Oh, that old what's the expression?
That old chestnut.
That old something.
That old
chestnut.
That old chestnut. And guess what? He did work again. And then we're talking about him. The producer in question, her name is Gloria Monty. He goes out of his way to mention her name. And I've just clicked here. Her filmography, obviously, she was a producer on General Hospital, but she was also known for a ton of stuff. Emmys, One Day at a Time, she was a producer for loads of movies. So she knew what she was talking about in most cases. So just told for effect.
Yes.
Well, she probably would have sued him. So let's get into a little bit of George Michael corner. Haven't caught up with George Michael in a while. It's happening. We spoke about it. We're lobbying for it. We all voted for George Michael to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And he is going to be one of the inductees. I think he's the main inductee. I think there's level of inductees. He's going to be the main one.
Okay.
The class of 2023 is Kate Bush, Sheryl Crow, Missy Elliott, George Michael, Willie Nelson, Rage Against the Machine, The Spinners, DJ Kool Herc, Chaka Khan, Bernie Taupin, and Don Cornelius. It says it's going to be shown.
I mean, I think he's the best of the bunch.
He's the head boy. If that's the class of 23, he's the head boy. You know. They say it's going to be streamed. This is an American article from a website called whatsondisneyplus.com. And they say it's going to be on Disney Plus on Friday. But I don't know if we get any of the live stuff from Disney Plus. I haven't seen it promoted. I don't know if they'd show it here. But anyway, so that's his induction into the rock and roll. I'm sure there'll be
clips on the internet, on news sites and stuff.
Thing is, you can pull all the clips you want. He's not going to be there. So I don't care. So a lot of the other people will be there. Not him. Just very sad. We love an auction on that 80 show. And I got it confused and then I got interested because I read a headline about an auction involving George Michael, some stuff from George Michael, some stuff from Amy Winehouse. The headline reads, George Michael jacket and Amy Winehouse hairpiece among items to be auctioned. Of course, I scan it.
Okay.
And I go, George Michael's hairpiece to be auctioned? What? What did I miss? What did I miss? Be careful to read, children. So no, just his jacket will be auctioned, not his hairpiece. Amy Winehouse's hairpiece. It's the jacket that he wore in the I Knew You'd Be Waiting For Me video that he did with Aretha Franklin.
Oh, I know that jacket well.
Do you remember it? Can you describe it from your mind's eye?
From my mind's eye, it was just super cool.
Oh, they were Great get out, Dory. Great
leather,
get out.
black leather.
You're
Perhaps
right.
some gold buttons.
I got confused with the one that Jackie is wearing when he was in the video with Mary J. Blige, which is a very Elton John-ish jacket. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the one I thought it was. But no, that jacket from that video, he's like right there in the middle of his Faith era. He's like biker, I'm wearing leathers, assless chaps. That's where I am in my life right now. So you can buy that. I hope the pockets have never been emptied. Right? Rummage through the pockets. Find George Michael's stuff.
What would you find? What would you find in George Michael's pockets?
Dory, do I have to do this twice? I just spoke to you about like why Demi Moore could have forgotten a romp with John Stamos because Charlie Sheen's bringing chainsaw wielding horses into the bedroom. So what would you find in George Michael's pockets? I think you would find condoms. I think you'd find that because you're responsible.
Phone numbers.
Phone numbers. But of like pizza places. When you phone them, it's a pizza place and you got to place a very specific order to get something. So I think you'd find that.
Right.
I think you would find a locket of Andrew Ridgeley's hair. I think he just carried one around.
Wow.
With him. Yeah, I think that'd happen. 2 of Elton John's press-on fingernails. I think you'd find those as well. Other things on auction is Michael Jackson's jacket that he wore in the Pepsi video when his hair got caught on fire.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did the jacket not get singed?
Oh, I hope the singe is still there. That'd be great if the singe is still there. I'll pay extra for that. I do not want to go through Michael Jackson's pockets. Yeah, no. We're not going through his pockets. And what I'm saying is scandalous. Just don't go through people's pockets. There's lint bunnies. You don't want to do stuff like it. Okay. But the thing I most want to talk to you about, Dorian, if you look at our running order, we're going to put this up there, Eddie Shows, our Facebook page. Planet Hollywood.
I see it.
Planet Hollywood's got all the shit, right? It's got all the stuff. I don't know which Planet Hollywood this is from, but they have in a frame in Planet Hollywood either George or Andrew's outfit, tank top and shorts that they wore in the Wake Me Up Before You Go video. Choose Life tank top. I mean, half blue, half white shorts. Those were George's because Andrew wore the yellow ones.
Very short shorts.
Andrew wore the yellow ones, didn't he? I'm sure. I'll match it up.
Oh, I'd have to rewatch the video. I'll be honest. I don't know offhand.
Dory, I would sell my heart.
I'll rewatch the video.
I'd sell my heart just to wear those ones, just to see how snug I am compared to George in his little pants. You got to try. You got to try.
I imagine that. It's probably not for sale, and if it was for sale, it would be horribly expensive. But if you had all the money in the world, you could buy it, and you could prance around in it in the privacy of your own home, or probably knowing you not the privacy of your own home. I'd love to see it. I have to say,
I have to find that Planet Hollywood. I have to go there. I have to book a table under that. I will come up with many a ruse. I'll take a little diamond cutting, a little like diamond tipped knife, and like slit the glass and slip it out, and I'll put a replacement Indiana Jones style.
No, you'd have to have one on your ring, on your finger, and then you like surreptitiously put your arm up in the air and
flash it. The flash keeps his outfit in a ring. That's it. That's the plan. Now we just have to find out which Planet Hollywood it is. We just have to find out the Planet Hollywood.
It's very cool.
Going to close off with one weird thing, one really cool piece of news. And the piece of news is not too disrelated to that outfit. I've got to be honest now that I think about it.
No, it is not.
Let's actually jump right into that because the other thing is a little bit of nonsense. So a few weeks ago, we start talking about Richard Simmons. He was a health guru, fitness guru, aerobics guru, home video workout guru in America in the 80s. And we said, he never cut through here because we didn't need him. We had Body Beat, right? And everybody in South Africa remembers Body Beat. Everybody remembers it, right? Everyone just knows it. So we start going, who were the people in Body Beat? Because there were a couple, nobody knew what were their names, what's going on? We got to find it. We got to track them down. So it wasn't that difficult because of the internet. And we got hold of Phil Joffe, who was in Body Beat from late 80s right through the 90s. And this weekend we'll be talking to him for a special interview that we're going to drop next week, Dory. I'm so excited.
Me too. I'm so excited I could dance, which is probably what will happen. Someone actually asked me, I told someone that I was doing that we were going to be chatting to the guy from Body Beat, and they were like, oh my God, are you going to have to do like exercise while you talk to him?
Well, I
never thought of that.
I really wanted to do that, but he is based in Durban. He's based in KZN, so it will not be in person.
Hey, we could do it online.
And do like a home workout, like back COVID days, like pretend we're doing that shit all over again. So
Exactly.
we're gonna be talking to him. We've got so many questions. I want to find out about music. I want to find out music to work out to. I want to find out what happened to the other Body Beat people, because he wasn't the only one. There were other Body Beat people.
No.
I want to get the scandal. I think there's a podcast in the making here. Body Beatdown.
Like the Chippendales podcast, the scandal behind Body Beat.
Exactly, because we all know it wasn't all sweatbands and linen, sweatbands and lycra. That's what it's called, sweatbands and lycra. That's the podcast.
Perfect.
100%.
Quickly copyright that name.
100%. There is no scandal, but we can only hope.
You never know.
That is coming up. So subscribe now. Subscribe That 80 Show. Just subscribe. So as soon as that comes out, you want to hear it. You woke up to Body Beat. You tried it. We tried it. Did you try it? I tried it. We tried Body Beat.
I possibly did. I don't know. Probably.
If the time Phil Joffe was on, I was 9, 10, 11. I couldn't even keep up with him. 10-year-olds, you know how much energy they have? I couldn't even keep up. And he sounds like he's full of beans. He's all the beans. So I think we are in for a very fun time. I think bring a sweat towel, bring your headband. It's going to be Phil Joffe. We'll be dropping that next week. That 80 Show essay, everything we spoke about on the show today, including those terrible, terrible 80s clips, but such good lessons from the A-Team and
indeed
all those people, the Batemans, learning with the Batemans. That's a show, Dory. That's a spin-off. Even themselves, they were a spin-off, because Jason was in a show. Then when he left, Justine came into it. It was Valerie, but I can't remember what the original one was. Got to get into that. So it's been That 80 Show.
Memory.
Dory, thank you so much for joining. You'll know it. When you hear the theme song, you'll remember it. That 80 Show essay on Facebook. I spend money to get likes. Like it for free. Listen to this for free. Share it with your friend. Dory, any parting words? Maybe advice, maybe in the style of Want to Grow Nog 'n Piep. You can maybe give us a life lesson. Say I'm about... I'm going to go outside now and I'm going to stick my finger in an electrical socket in the rain. What would you say to me?
Okay. Why is there an electrical socket outside in the rain?
Plug in your lawnmower.
I'm so confused. I'm clearly not cut out for this show.
Oh, and I have just been electrocuted. Thanks for killing me, Dory. Goodbye.
Bye.